Hey, it's Levack and guys. Happy Tuesday. It is the not the most beautiful day of the year, but like what the heck? Everything's turning on in my house. Did you
Look
hear
out.
that?
He's being invaded.
The aliens are here. Oh, all right. I know
The weather stinks in central New York, by the way. I'm glad it's good in the capital region. I know the next
It's
2
not
days
gonna
is supposed to
be.
be bad. No, yeah, I heard
No,
Saratoga's got some issues going on there for some races with all the rain coming.
we're gonna have rain from 2 o'clock today. It looks like till Friday. Saturday will be a little bit all right, and then Sunday and Monday are supposed to. We pretty much got about 2 weeks of rain ahead of us. But do you? I think you're too young for this. There was that moment when I was a child that the Sears toy catalog, the Toys R Us toy catalog, would come in the mail, and it was as thick as a Bible, and it was every toy under the sun. Like, and the best part is all the movies that are coming out right now. He-Man. There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. There's a Matchbox movie. They were the toys that were in there. That was when you went, Christmas is almost here. That's right, fat man. Get ready to put some presents under my tree. Mom, I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. Today is the opening for all the teams. So I think 26 NFL teams already in camp. By the end of today, all 32 teams will have reported, which means we going camping, baby. All the news stories are going to start coming out, all the fun. Sadly, some stupid injuries are going to happen. But NFL training camp, man, going and camping. We're going to get this thing going. It's gonna be. Is that not what you meant by going camping? Are you actually going camping? Like, is that just you changed the banner? I didn't. If you're actually going camping, that's hysterical.
Well, sort of. Yes, that's exactly what I found out today. I was going camping. My wife told me. She goes, "Hey, we're going to a camp August 21st to 23rd." I said,
okay.
Who's we?
Who's this we are speaking of? Do you happen to have a small rodent in your pocket, perchance?
Yeah, I'm like, did you next time? Can you like check with me? We might have things going on. I may be going camping. Just
you
that
don't
scared
have
me when
a
I
choice.
said
Stop
I
it.
guess not.
What are you, dumb? You dumb?
So,
she's the breadwinner, man. She's the booty providing breadwinner. She gets all the rules. You have no veto power whatsoever, sir.
The in-laws are involved as well in this one. I'm hoping I have a potential career thing going on one of those Saturdays. That's for down the line. But anyways, I've gone camping before. Anyways, that's right. I did change the title because it did throw me off because I'm going camping, unbeknownst to me. You and I have been fortunate enough to do.
Oh, that's right. You don't look at the prep sheet. The first thing I wrote was going camping. So
all right. No. I looked at it briefly. They'll prove it to you on Google. Yeah. You and I have covered 4 NFL training camps. I believe some things have changed since the last time you and I have gone and covered a camp together.
Yeah, we don't have jobs
Most
anymore.
of it. No. This is. We never covered him at Fox, by the way. We had too many jobs at Fox, and they cost us. They wanted to make sure if you guys can cover training camp, it's coming out of your pocket on that one.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of the rules have changed. There's less hitting. There's less practices. There's less preseason game. Camp is probably, and I've changed my take on this post rules. You could make a strong case now that it's actually more important, not less important, more important than it's been in the past because you have such a small window to evaluate these guys. Look, there are obviously a big part of the roster is already decided. Veterans, first round draft picks, things in which you made in the offseason. Most of the roster is decided. But what I've learned over the past few years here with these changes is that if you're an undrafted guy or if you're somebody they brought into camp for a, quote, body for the preseason games, you do have a chance to make the roster. Bill, as people called him last year for the Commanders, right? He was like one of the best stories of the whole thing. Because the sample size is small, camps are competitive, man, and guys can absolutely make a roster.
Yeah, and look, man, you hate to bring this up, but it's part of it. It's a reason there's 100 people at camp is people get hurt, injuries happen, and I get to see this here. There's teams that if you make that 100-man, other teams are like, you might be better than we realized you were. Now you're on their radar. Like we have a 35-man roster in camp here for the Albany Firebirds. Damon Ware is known as the best recruiter like in arena football. So when you get released from the Albany Firebirds, you get picked up by the Washington Wolfpack or whoever else. So the stories of these guys a little farther down the food chain, It's not. You're right. It's not like it used to be. It's not like God. Who was the running back? There was a running back for the Raiders. They had him in every year. I want to say his name was Joe Aska, and he would dominate the preseason. The dude would run through people like when you watch the high school team run through the paper banner at the beginning of senior day. He would run through everyone like that, and you're just like, this guy, he's a star. How is he not, not realizing that the dudes he's like knocking out of their cleats are about to be driving FedEx trucks, but like that every year that guy would be out there. Every year I'd become a huge fan of his, and every year he would go away. He'd be a practice squad guy or something for the rest of the year. Now, if you go out and you put that kind of show on, you're going to get picked up by the UFL. You're going to get picked up by the Bengals. You're going to get picked up by somebody. And, you're going to get a chance to play meaningful downs of football. So camp is fun for that reason. And as you mentioned the weather, I can see like over my house right now, there's sun, maybe a half mile to my east is pitch black. So it's this might be a short show, guys.
Hopefully the power stays on. Hopefully it doesn't go under. Let me explain a very simple concept to sports fans, to people who do this. And I am someone who didn't understand this. And it's so simple that I think we all should really understand.
Basic hygiene.
I showered today. No, actually, take it back. I put on deodorant today.
Yet another reason that your wife has all to say.
Oh, she gets to shower first. She has to leave the house. Whatever.
No, she tolerates you not showering.
Here's a very simple concept. What a team, an organization has in front of them is how they will evaluate you. For you kids in like high school and these travel league squads and these flag football things and everything else, like if you move up another level and the coach is trying to figure out who they're playing, if you stink in practice, they're going to be, hey, this kid didn't play very well. I was the worst practice player. I think it hurt me as I got older because I'm like, I couldn't turn it on in practice. Like, this is a game. I'm a flip the switch guy. I'm going to go hard in the game. I'm not going to go hard in practice. I'll go half speed because it's practice. That really hurt me when I got to college because that's all they have in front of you. Why so many kids transfer? If you're not good in practice, gosh, how many coaches have you and I talked to, especially at the college level? Will Brown, Jimmy Patsos, Jerry McNamara, like, if you're not good in practice, they're not going to put you on the field.
Right. Practice like you play.
Yes, you have these All-Americans who show up to college who are fantastic in college. My gosh, the same thing in high school. Oh, I was great on this travel team. I was great on that. All they have is what's in front of them. And if a guy who's $2 million cheaper outplays you, they're going to take him. If you're a 7th-round draft pick and some kid they picked up from the UFL or AF1 or anything, and he's in camp and he's better than you for that 3 weeks and he's cheaper, they're going to take him. I know it's probably like a 10% of the roster. Some could argue maybe closer to 15. Like you said, injuries, that number is moving between teams, but it's exciting now. And it wasn't always like that. When you had 4 preseason games and almost nearly a month of training camp, you kind of, time would eventually take over, you know? Yeah. What is the number? 16 total practices, 8 total. It's crazy. You got to be so good so fast. And actually, man, I'm more excited about training camp than I've been in the past because of those changes.
Well, you also have to be because your team sucks. I'm
wearing my Buccaneer colors today. Here we are.
You might be the only one. I mean, at all. Baker Mayfield showed up to camp, but no contract in hand. And now future Raider Vita Vea wants to be traded. How you feeling?
All right, let's start with Baker. He's not getting a contract. He's not.
Really?
No, he's not getting a contract. If you've missed it, go back for our new audience here. We did an NFL season preview around July 4th. So if you missed it, we talked about all the teams preseason. We'll do one more somewhere between late August and before Labor Day. Somewhere that'll launch again. That'll be on, again, audio and visual side this time, which would be cool. Baker's not getting another contract because the Buccaneers aren't going to be very good this season, and they don't want to give him $100 million as he gets closer to 35 than 25. And with what it is here in late July, perceived to be a loaded quarterback class, if the Buccaneers have a top 15 pick, it just makes financially more sense to go get a quarterback than have Baker come again. Now, look, if Baker's what he was last year, and he's an MVP caliber player for the first 8 weeks of the season. The Buccaneers are considered one of the best. I will eat crow, and I'll be happy to eat it on this show if the Buccaneers are very good. But right now, it doesn't actually make sense to give him that money as good as he's been this season. To the Vita Vea thing, oh my gosh, I was hoping that wasn't going to happen. I was like, shh, no one mentioned the Vita Vea stuff. Like, he has such an impact, especially with like defensive lines changing. I've annoyed Levack with this take, and I think younger fans don't get why it's annoying. The fact that they're actually changing what we call defensive line players now, edge rushers instead of DNs, third down specialist. Vita Vea becomes more important, because if you want those guys on the outside to do their thing, you got to have somebody eat up a double team. You want to do a one-on-one, somebody's got to go 2-on-1, and Vita Vea is becoming that guy. His value has increased. I don't know what the Bucs are going to do with him. I do believe like at the end of August, September, some team's going to throw a stupid deal at Tampa and he might get traded. So yeah, you're right. It's not a great time to be a Buccaneer fan. By the way, did we mention Mike Evans didn't get signed by Tampa either a few weeks ago? So they didn't want to pay him.
Do you,
not
are the Rams going to become the Dodgers of the NFL? Is Vita Vea going to go there? Aaron Donald's going to come back. They're just going to run a front four with Myles Garrett, Vita Vea, Aaron Donald, and whoever. It doesn't matter who the other person is, and all four are going to lead the league in sacks.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine that? The defensive line up front guys they had when they won the Super Bowl's already legendary, because you had Aaron Donald, Von Miller, I believe Ndamukong Suh was on that defensive line. I can double check on that one, but I know it was Von Miller and Aaron Donald on that side of the line, which is stupid and ridiculous. Poor Joe Burrow in that fourth quarter had no chance with those guys coming off one side. So you could have, let's just play that out, right? Let's say it's the Rams. Donald, if he comes out of retirement, Vita Vea, Myles Garrett. There's a kid named Kobe Turner. Shout out to our girl Delia. Like, he's much more popular in the TikTok Gen Zers. Like, he's got a lot of, I think he's an okay player, but boy, that's a hell of a front four right there that they could play around with and do something with.
It's an interesting time for you. I'm sorry. I got a feeling you're not going to like this. Even though the Raiders division is better, we're going to be better than you guys. We're going to have a better record than Tampa. The Raiders will. That
might be our first podcast wager, which I was thinking about our wagers today. You and I were trying to find a spot to get lunch from the Capital Region. And now that our orange roof spot is closed off, I have to move my wager somewhere. That might entice you a little bit more to go get lunch with me next month.
Oh, I got plenty of places that I can abuse you with, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that'd be a beverage bet.
6 wins. Okay, we can do that. We haven't done that in a while. A Raiders Buccaneers over under.
It's probably a race to 6 wins. It probably is, which is sad. But listen, I think the Raiders are going to be that team nobody talks about, and then all of a sudden they're going to have like a marquee win early, and then all the Raiders fans are going to go crazy, and then everyone else is going to go get angry, and we'll fall off at the end. We'll fall off towards the end of the season. But I think, I think the Raiders they're gonna be a surprisingly adequate football team this year.
So you've got the Raiders doing their thing. You've got the Buccaneers with that. I want to toss in one other player who's got a New York connection here. Have you seen the news involving former Jet Jamal Adams?
Yes. You mean current Minnesota Viking Jamal Adams?
Yes. What a career he's had. For those who, for whatever reason, forgot, Jamal Adams was amazing out of college. Yeah. Like, you look at that draft, I believe that's 2017. It is the 2017 NFL draft. He was the guy that everyone talked about. Is like, he may not go number 1 overall, but here's your best player. A defensive back from LSU who can hit, he can cover, he can tackle. He's a can't miss guy. The Jets take him, and he is so good. I mean, we forget because time has passed nearly a decade since, boy, when Jamal Adams was playing for the Jets, he was awesome. Better than Sauce, not as good as Revis, but my gosh, he could do everything. And then he wanted to get paid, or he didn't want to be a Jet, which we're going to get to more Jet coverage here in a little bit. Multiple-time Pro Bowler, young in his career. They can't figure out a price tag for him. They deal him to Seattle. And Seattle, well, wasn't a great trade for the Seahawks. You can look at that Seahawk thing 2 ways. You can say because of the price they paid for him, it was stupid. Or you could say he actually wasn't as bad as we think, despite the name Blitz Boy he got in Seattle. He got hurt a lot, which again, sure, he's hurt, but gosh, the final 2 seasons in Seattle, 2 seasons, he played a total of 10 games. He got hurt. And now he ends up in Detroit, and he's in Vegas for a little bit, and now he's in Minnesota. It just shows you like how quick this thing is in the NFL, especially for defensive backs too. I know running backs usually get that tag, but man, Levack, he was so awesome, and then he wasn't, and now he's okay. Now he's wearing 54, by the way. You know, when you think defensive backs, you don't think about number 54. There's the new world. Blitz Boy's a linebacker kind of now.
Yeah, was it Greg Williams? Was he the defensive coordinator who really got the most? I think it was.
Yes.
And then he left Greg Williams to get money. And then that was when he found out that kind of stuff matters. Casey Rogers and Greg Williams were the 2 defensive coordinators who got the most out of him at that point. It was Todd Bowles, it was Greg Williams, and then he went over to Seattle and they wanted him to actually play linebacker instead of they wanted to play actual safety instead of linebacker, and it blew up in his face. He was okay for the Raiders. For an older guy who was on that defense, he was okay. He was not a plus nor a minus. He was just there. It was window dressing. So, yeah. Well, I mean, he's still going, and Brian Flores might get something out of him. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of guy who might go, I got an idea for you. We play a lot of mobile quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and just let you just be a heat-seeking missile and keep them in their pocket until they're on their ass.
Minnesota. That's that team this year for old Ghazi Bear. I think they're making the postseason. That's a right fit you said there, to just let him fly off the edge and see if these offensive tackles can catch him. Maybe that's all he's going to do. He's just going to fly in and fly out and blitz people. If they can figure out the quarterback, the Vikings, okay.
Right. If they can figure out that's a really big if they can figure out the quarterback. Like that's, if I just keep breathing, I'll stay alive. Like, I don't know. I'm not like, I keep hearing people talk about Kyler Murray as like the steal of the fantasy draft and all this other stuff. Like, I still think they're going to try and let JJ McCarthy start if there's a way to do it. So no, I'm not on board with Minnesota. Plus you're sharing the division with the Bears, the Lions. I think the Bears are going to be one of the best teams in all of football this year. So sorry. No, I'm not buying it. Not happening.
We go on to a former New York Jet. Plaxico Burress talked about his time with the New York Jets. He compared it to being in prison. Plaxico, quote that's going all over the internet today. They're both kind of similar because when I walked into prison on my first day, I was like, damn, man, you a loser. And I had that same damn feeling every time I walked through the door at the Jets. I hope that's a real quote. You never know.
No, it was on the pivot. It was
the pivot he said it on.
Yeah,
oh my
I heard
gosh,
it this morning.
Okay. I like the pivot. I haven't heard that yet. All right.
Here's the problem. Plaxico Burress is an asshole. I'm sorry. We had a chance to run into him at camp. He was a total jerk at Giants camp. He shot himself. And yes, when you get shot, you are a victim. But when you shoot yourself, you're an idiot. Like that's like he's playing himself like he's security let me in. I didn't know any better. Blah 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 blah. You had a gun in the waistband of sweatpants out in public and didn't think anything was going to go wrong. You went to jail. Was it the kind of jail sentence that probably doesn't happen in a lot of places? Sure. Were you in New York City? Yes. I go to New York City twice a year at most. At most, maybe if you average it out, I probably go to New York City 0.8 times a year. And I know that even if you have a concealed carry in the state of New York, you cannot carry a firearm in New York City. You need a special permission from the chief of police, the sheriff, the governor, the mayor. Like you need special permission to carry a firearm in New York City. It's a known thing, dude. It's a known thing. And you didn't, and you got in trouble. So that's one. So right there. And you have a very arrogant attitude for a guy who made over $30 million in his career and just had to sell his Super Bowl ring because he's broke. So all those things together, and then you forgot one of the most important things, Plaxico. The internet doesn't forget. When you went to play for the Jets, you spoke glowingly about how they accepted you and is where you belonged. And oh, by the way, the year before you got there, they were a year away from the AFC Championship game. So they didn't suck until you sucked, okay? So acting like you were a loser because you played for the Jets were losers for letting you play there. That made me so angry when I heard it this morning. And I'm not a Jets fan, but that's just jackassery.
I think it's just ungrateful, like you're getting at here. Like, hey, man, I was out of the league for nearly 3 years, and this team not only embraced me, but I was a contributor. They were good. That 2011, or like you said, previous to the 2011 season, that's a team that's almost in the Super Bowl. That's the Rex Ryan years and all those things. You mentioned you're running with Plaxico. There's somewhere on the internet, if someone digs deep enough, Plaxico and I having a conversation just solo. There was an event at Saratoga. I want to say it's called the Saratoga Stadium. I think it's still called, up on right at downtown Saratoga. So they had Plaxico as a guest for like a 2-hour appearance, and we were out there. Just me and Keisha. I don't know if you remember Keisha. Shout out to Keisha. I was like, you know what? Plaxico was nice to me. And I realized I'm leaving out some details. He showed up 45 minutes late. He did the conversation with sunglasses on. But it was like a young 20-something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to Plaxico. Wow, this is so cool. And then as you get older, you're like, things that led to that, you realize that's not how an adult or professional should act. Showing up late to an event you promised people to be at. And anyways, I didn't love the quote either. He's also another interesting athlete who might have been ungrateful for that. But what if Plaxico played it 10 years later? A 6'6" receiver who can go up and get the ball in a much more extended passing league. We would probably talk about Plaxico in the same breath as like a Julio Jones and AJ Green. I don't think Megatron, Calvin Johnson, but Calvin Johnson was a lot later than him too. He probably is but then again, he also has a game-winning catch at a Super Bowl. So that's a hell of a way to add to your legacy too. He feels like one of these guys that might have been better. Also, another thing I have to add in, if I'm going to say Plaxico's better on the field as an athlete, he also would have had to play most of his career during social media, where he could have said a lot of dumb stuff and done a lot of dumb things.
If he was lucky, the guy he would be, and this is why I think you're wrong. I don't think he would get more attention. I think he got a lot of attention. Some of it positive. The guy would be Mike Evans, and Mike Evans gets no attention. Nobody talks about Mike Evans until they're like, who was the guy who always has 1,000 yards and catches 10 plus touchdowns? Oh, that's that Mike Evans guy. Yeah, he's kind of good. No, he's one of the best wide receivers in all of football, and has been for a very long time. And thank God he finally got out of that crappy Tampa organization. But no, like Plaxico has a very similar skill set, and nobody talks about Mike Evans. So I think when Mike Evans' career is over, he'll be one of those guys that everybody goes. I think there'll be a low murmur that turns into a roar for him to be in Canton.
Yes, that Super Bowl helped him out a lot too.
Which it shouldn't matter.
Like Julio or AJ, yeah, right. His stats have proven it. He's going to rank top 15 in most of those career stats. Yeah.
Well, and like, who threw in a ball? Yeah, he had Tom Brady at the end. He had Baker, but who is the quarterback that when you look back and go, that was the hookup? Like I'm drawing a blank on a lot of Tampa Bay. Like Sean King. Was it Sean King? Was that the guy?
Tom Brady was there for a few years.
Yeah, that's it. And it wasn't super Tom Brady. It was super old Tom Brady. So, Mike Evans caught touchdowns from everyone. And some people, I might have to give it shut my windows. Hold on.
Brady and Mayfield at the end was good, but here's the other thing about Evans, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this in 2 weeks when we get closer to the actual Hall of Fame game. Can we change those rules in the class? Like, I'm not the super Eli defender, although I do define the Eli Hall of Fame case the best of any athlete in any sport right now going. Football technically should have the most inductees because the most players play football. I'm not talking, well, I guess that's true too. The most players in the league, but you have 24 active positions going. Their classes should not be smaller than basketball, baseball, or any hockey, anything. That's a debate for another day. And Mike Evans should be in the Hall of Fame, but I feel a little less confident in that with that stupid new rule with classes and everything else.
Hold on. I want to see.
I
want to actually look up who they were. Who threw?
Who's quarterbacks? Big.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I want to play that game with you real quick because
as
a Buccaneer fan, I should get this. So since the dawning of Mike Evans' career, so he got to the league in late 2000 or early 2010 because he's right around Johnny Manziel. So I'm guessing the quarterbacks that have thrown passes to Mike Evans, Tom Brady's the easy one. Baker Mayfield's an easy one. So that's a quick 2. I don't think Kyle Trask ever got on the field. I don't think he's on that list. Jameis?
Yep.
Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yep.
So I got 4. How many more do I need there? Is Kyle Trask on there?
Those two names take you from 2015 to 2019. So that's the majority of them. Let me see.
So then Brady and Mayfield.
Kyle Trask, 2 games with Trask.
All right. I think
6
I have
with Flacco. You no.
Gosh, Flacco.
Remember he was drafted in 2014. So you're forgetting 2 journeymen. Well, a journeyman and a freak.
A journeyman and a freak.
Yep.
Oh gosh. I don't know how. All right. So okay, one more time. Brady, Mayfield, Jameis, Kyle Trask, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I have a journeyman and a freak. Ew. Gosh, I don't think I'm gonna get this. Journeyman, Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson left Josh Johnson was back in 2011. 2014. Josh is the first name.
Freeman.
He and his brother.
McCown.
Yep. And the freak. Dude was built like a pest dispenser.
Javon Curse.
No.
Rick James. Yeah. Mike Glennon.
There you go.
Glennon. Thank you.
Yeah, but like you said, Jameis is good for touchdowns, but he's good for interceptions. So that's to be one of the league leaders every year in receptions, yards, touchdowns, stuff like that, and have that be the quarterbacks who threw the ball. That's some Tim Brown stuff right there. So good for Mike Evans, the 49ers star.
By the way, speaking out weird wide receivers, at some point, probably tomorrow or Thursday, I don't want to touch Brandon Ayuk yet because that's another camp storyline because I think it's going to get weirder. And I think Ayuk is turning into somebody that you might have, right? Ayuk's starting to get some cares and somebody you used to work with. We'll move on from that.
Yeah, but he hasn't done it. At least that other guy achieved a lot more before he went nuts.
That's very true. The trade deadline is getting closer and closer. We inch further and further away from the 1 week mark. We get closer and closer to August 3rd. It used to traditionally be July 31st, but it is August 3rd. What does it look like here? Could Max Scherzer be a name on the move? Could we see Byron Buxton on the move? Could Kendall Marte, Levack? We're getting closer and closer. The one thing that feels different about this year's trade deadline than any other trade deadline, especially the last, 5 years maybe, there used to just be a name. Like everyone's going after this guy. Who's going to put the biggest bid in for this guy? Tarek Skubel's name has not popped up as often. Skubel should be the man, but boy, at least today on this Tuesday, it doesn't feel like that. The rumors of what could happen, it seems like a quiet, shh, don't let him know I'm coming after this guy. Maybe that has to do with the standings. You get the same vibes about this year's trade deadline?
Well, I think the American League is such a cluster that it's, you could argue you're alive. You know what I mean? For a lot of these teams, I think they could sit here and go, no, we still have a shot. Like, let's not give anything up. And I do think some of these teams are playing a little closer to the vest as to what they're looking for. You know what I mean? Like if you go American League East, Toronto's 49-58. They're not going to sell. They're a year away from the series. Kansas City, the Bobby Witt Jr. injury changes everything. The West, that's different. I don't know what to do with the West. But then the National League is where it gets tricky, it gets interesting, and that's where a lot of the target names are coming from. But I guess I think it's a bullpen middle infielder year. You know what I mean? Like normally it's like a major starting pitcher like a Skubal. It's a badass power hitting outfielder. This year it's Mason Miller. It's a race. There's a lot of them are tied to bullpens and guys who would be your third or fourth starter on the best team. So maybe that's. I think you're going to see an impactful deal or two done, but you're not going to realize it at the time. Like when the Yankees went and got ended up Corey Lidle. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff is gonna. I think that's what's going to happen this year.
The other potentially lame part about this whole thing, and we won't know this answer till next week, is how much teams are going to admit about the lockout. Like, we were going to make a move, but we didn't. It's lame because like you just don't want that to be excuse because we don't know what the lockout will and how long. Again, it's not our money, so it's easier for us to be like, why aren't you spending money you might not have coming up soon? That's really the real spot some owners are going to be in here going forward with what totally baseball could look like, whether it involves expansion, the minor league system, changes to the draft. They got a lot of stuff they got to figure out. So someone's saying we want to take on payroll might not be the best business decision. I just don't want to hear that as an excuse because if you want to make a move, and that could damper what this deadline looks like.
Well, if there is a salary cap, I mean, I give you all my money, and then there's a salary cap. Well, now it's you by yourself for 4 to 5 years as I try to figure out how to get out of your contract. So, like, I think that's definitely part of it, and rightfully so. Like, if I were these players, I would have been pushing my union to get this deal done ASAP so I get paid. Like, but that didn't happen. And now here we are. And Mason Miller is coming to the Yankees. That's what I think. Mason Miller to the Yankees.
Let's go. As much as I don't want to face a Missouri fan, D3 love, baby. Mason Miller. Nothing but gas from D3 land.
That's right. Get a couple closers in there. Keep everything afloat. I was listening to Boomer and Gio this morning, and they're Mets fans. They don't like the Yankees. They went on probably a 6-minute rant about how stupid it is that Aaron Boone isn't a better favorite to win Manager of the Year, considering all the injuries the Yankees have had.
Was the episode in 2026? Did they replay one from like 2022? What?
No, if you think about it, didn't have Garrett Cole to start the year, lost Max Fried. Haven't had Stanton for more than 2 weeks. Aaron Judge has been out forever. Now Bellinger's gonna be out 4 to 6. The Yankees injuries are and the fact that they've stayed, in shouting distance of the American League East against a Rays team that's been very good. Their number one wild card team in the AL. Their point is, just because you don't like it doesn't mean he's not doing a great job.
I'll tip my cat to Boomer and Gio. I had not thought about that take before. And if it's not, you got to do this one right. If it's not Boone, then who? I could argue that Boone shouldn't be blah, 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 blah. But who, if it's not Boone, then who? The guy for the White Sox? Probably it. He's probably the favorite.
I think he's the favorite.
Will Venable, I believe, is still his name. If it's not, but again, that's always tough because if the White Sox fall off, then Boone's odds could increase. And if the Yankees get those guys back. See, this is what's so hard about this Manager of the Year thing. You and I think at least twice Boone should have won it, especially the year Rocco Baldelli won a few years ago. But that's the thing, so okay, let's say Judge gets healthy and those guys get healthy and the Yankees start to win. It actually hurts Boone's chances to win Manager of the Year. Yeah, that's the bizarre part about I'll use an odd example, but this one always sticks out to me. Tua versus Kyler Murray, their final year in college. Remember, Tua gets hurt in that SEC title game. Jalen Hurts leads Alabama to the SEC title, and they're like, oh, Hurts is awesome. But because he did that, it cost Tua the Heisman. So if Bama had lost that game, Tua would have been perceived to be more valuable, and he would have likely won the Heisman by not playing. Yeah, this is where the award stuff, the narratives can get a little dusty.
This is where I have to say New York may not be wrong by not taking these bets. Yeah, Will Venable is plus 125. Aaron Boone right now is plus 1,600 to win Manager of the Year.
Wait, he's 16-1?
16-1.
All right, changing my whole take. No one said 16-1. We got to get to Massachusetts. What are we doing? 16-1? I thought he was like 4-1. 16. Wait, is he second on the board?
No. Second on the board is the guy that I probably would bet on. That's Kevin Cash at plus 260.
Love me some Kevin Cash, one of my favorite baseball players growing up, a former Syracuse Sky Chief. Loved me some Kevin Cash as a kid. I pass on. Was he plus 250?
Yeah.
Pass.
Plus 260.
Nope.
Do you know who the favorite for the National League Manager of the Year is?
I would just assume they always like voting for Dave Roberts. Is Dave Roberts somewhere in there?
Dave Roberts is way down. He's 35-1.
The guy from Don Mattingly?
Donnie Mattingly.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Plus 250. Couldn't even get odds on him before the season started. There you go.
Aaron Boone's 16-1.
Yeah.
My gosh, Levack.
He'll never, but even when we make the argument that that everybody agrees with he doesn't win. So now we're making an argument that people don't understand. He's not. Aaron Boone will never get it. I mean, you've got Yankee fans outside of his house with torches and pitchforks if they lose a game. So, he's never gonna get the credit, and that's fine. And I blame him once in a while too. Listen, I do, but I said he had to beat Donnie Baseball over the weekend. They took 2 out of 3. There you go. You know what I mean? And Will Warren went out there looked like a gas can. So that doesn't usually happen. So there.
I'm thinking of my
there's
map
a case
now.
to be made.
I'm traveling to Delaware here later this weekend. I'm trying to figure out if we go through Pennsylvania and they cut, how quickly can I turn I'll keep you posted. All right.
I just wanted, can you do me a favor and have a camera rolling so I can see your wife's face when she realizes that you've taken them on a longer route because you want to make a $10 bet on a 16-1 manager of the year that's probably not going to pay off? Can you just make sure I see that?
And I'll just write value. This is value, Jordan. We're avoiding the traffic. Value bet. All right.
$160, honey.
I need it. Come on.
I got to supplement my income.
Did I spell Ohtani right here? This is a new part. Ohtani?
No, Ohtani.
Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani or Ohtani is now a focus of the podcast world. The release of the Ohtani podcast, diving into what really happened. I've only heard the clips as well, Levack, because it's 2026, and who has time to listen to an entire podcast?
Except for this one.
That's right. I see you people on our shorts. The betrayal of Shohei Ohtani, just like this show, we hope that you can find it, listen to it. I'm promoting it because it sounds awesome. I'm going to do my best in all seriousness to listen to this. And the fact that ESPN, people like to roast ESPN a lot of times for not being big J journalists or however they cover this. I can't wait. Allegedly, from the clip I saw, and I'm curious if it's the same one you saw, this reporter was like taken into this source's car and couldn't film anything. And they had to close the door, and she had 30 seconds to write down what she saw before the message exploded. This was like a mix between a mafia movie and an Inspector Gadget. And she said she saw the bank statement and the routing number from Ohtani's bankroll to the bookie. That got me intrigued enough. What do you make of this Ohtani stuff? And I know it's hard to evaluate something before you've heard it, but could this be a splash that potentially suspends Ohtani?
No, I don't know. I don't even know that much. I watched I saw the preview that the promo they were running on ESPN. That's what I saw. Right before they turned off my cable. But
that's coming up next. Don't you worry. I got the banner ready.
But no, I don't even know that much about it. So I guess you've got me kind of hyped up to pay attention to it now. Definitely an excellent driver. I'll check it out now. I wasn't going to, but I'll check it out now. I've got some time on my hands. I got a little extra free time.
If Pablo Torre has the NBA shaking in their boots about the Kawhi and Leonard thing, although Adam Silver would never admit this, it just feels like this is stuff I do love about the world of 2026. Somebody just doesn't give up on it. There are people still that won't give up on the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel thing. They want it all. There are people who have now hopped on the Matt Miller thing. There are people who dive deep into this stuff and say, this is my thing. This reporter said the Ohtani thing should not rest. Even people with common sense were like, so you're telling me the interpreter just was randomly firing off bets from Ohtani's bank account and Ohtani had no clue. We all should accept that for face value. They're like, nope. Nice try on this one. I think you and I would get conversations about it. We didn't believe it. Yeah.
I have trouble. Like I have a lot of trouble believing that you just let this guy have all your money without paying attention to any of it. I have a little bit. I take issue with that. I really do.
As much as I'm a Rob Manfred defender, and defender disciple might be a better way to describe what I do for Rob Manfred. I don't think this is what's the word here? A coincidence that it's being released now. Because as we get closer and closer to the end of the year with Ohtani, if they chop this up in episodes, which is another one of the rumors that they're going to keep building here, I wonder if someone's like, look, we're going to eventually drop the bombshell that Manfred covered this up. and Manfred's gone as the commissioner of MLB.
Oh,
right when you go to the
what will you
lockout,
do?
right?
What will
I'll
you
be
do?
devastated. But this is stuff that happens, right? Like we've seen so many commissioners, at least in my lifetime. We question what it takes to have a commissioner lose their job, and you always give me the same answer because it's the right answer. Once owners start losing money, and when you start approaching a lockout where owners could start losing money because of how the value of their team is perception of that plus games being taken away, I wonder if a bombshell is coming on the way with Manfred covering this whole thing up. That seems to be the path this might be going towards. All right, let's talk about your cable. We've gone 40 minutes here, and your cable is still on. Your lights are still on. What is going on at the Verizon, or formerly of Levack house? And take me through what's going on over there.
I have put my money all together, everything I have, to get an idea of how far I can go before I really need to settle down and decide what I'm going to be when I grow up. And as of this moment, I was like, I'm paying $170 something a month for cable and internet. Well, I don't really watch cable. Like realistically, I have the cable so that I can stream all the channels that are on my cable in other places. So I go over to the website, I check it out. I'm like, how do I what do I do? Like, how do I save money? And they were like, well, this just freaked me out the most in the beginning. You don't really watch TV. You don't watch cable. I'm like, I don't, but why do you know that? So they know everything you're watching, by the way. So ratings are real. Ratings are real. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Well, here, let me show you a different plan. So I think I had like 130 channels or something like that. Like, well, if you go down to 85 channels, you can save $12 a month. I'm like, is ESPN one of the channels I lose? They're like, yeah. I go, then it's not worth it to me. So I go, what if I got rid of cable altogether, just had internet? They're like, you can do that, boom, cuts it down, saves me almost $100 a month. I'm like, perfect. Let's do that. I'll figure out, out of that 100 a month, if I have to pay for some streaming services, I'll still save money. So they're like, yep, okay, cool. They go through the whole thing. They go, all right, we just sent something to your mobile phone. I open it up. It's the new contract. I agree to it all. I have to drop the box off at whatever, boom, boom. I hit okay. They go, all right, can we help you with anything else? I go, no problem. I look up and ESPN was on, First Take or whatever it was. The second that person said, have a great day, it went blank screen and something went wrong. You do not have access to this channel. They clipped it instantly. I was like, well, I paid for the month. Maybe they'll give me the rest of the month. No, I have a $9.85 credit towards my bill.
Oh my God.
Like right away, done. Like, I mean, insane. So, but I cut the cord. You know what I mean? So I'm just getting you streaming services. My kid's moving back in November. Her and she's got a couple of them. So I just reached out to her. I was like, hey, instead of you doing just Disney Plus, let's do Disney Plus, ESPN, Hulu. They have a new one where it's Disney, Hulu, ESPN, and NFL Plus in a monthly bundle that's like $46 a month. So those are the channels I watch. That's it.
NFL. I'm just Googling this now. Does the NFL Plus bundle include Red Zone?
It has to.
I hope so, right?
Well, if it's NFL Plus, yeah, because I used to have NFL. I actually have NFL Plus. I just don't have the whole thing.
Okay. I misunderstood you there. So you're right. So the 2025 version that you and I both had of NFL Plus is just being combined with this. So under the old NFL Plus. Okay.
Right. Because remember Disney.
Right. Because they bought the NFL Network and all this stuff. I'm in. That's it. I'm in. That's what I'm doing. Here's what my thought is for you now. Look, you and I consume content a lot differently. I've got a lot of streaming services and all this stuff, and I know you do too, and you have a different way you consume content. I believe what you just did, you're never going back. I don't think there's going to be 2 years from now. No, you're never going to be like, oh, I need cable back, because the best way is to sum it up how your daughter did. And even kids way younger than your daughter, they have zero concept of what you and I just talked about. They just use the television as a device. They don't know what channel something's on. They don't know if it's up on the TV's a device. They have no idea, which is to some people blows their mind and frightens them. Yeah, so you're not going back. Enjoy the life that is streaming and no cable.
I wasn't.
I got a great example too. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't even going to pay for all these other things, except for the fact that, if I'm saving $100 a month and I'm spending 46, it's a net $54 a month. You add that up over the course of a year, you're at almost $600, or you're a little over $600. That's $600 I saved, and I'm watching all the things I watch. You know what I mean? Like, so it works. It makes sense. And I believe that on my Disney Visa card, I get extra points going towards my rewards, which means I'll have more money to spend at Disney next year or the year after that, whenever I go back.
One, yes, that's right. And one massive example of like, why would they not do that? Use the WWE or use Vice TV. I know Vice TV is obviously partnered with the F1, but like WWE, you can find any match you want on their YouTube channel. They're like, we might as well take the YouTube revenue. We're not gonna leave the money on the table. We'll monetize these matches. Vice TV, Dark Side of the Ring fans, all the episodes are on the Vice TV channel now. They didn't do that for the first 4 or 5 seasons. They're like, I don't know how many people are paying for the cable side of it, but we'll take our YouTube clicks, please. We're not gonna not take that money, by the way, which is fascinating. I wonder how that plays in 27 for the F1. You saw Disclosure Day, by the way. Where's that? Where'd you find that?
It started streaming. It just started streaming. So it was okay.
Ooh,
It was okay. You know what it was? It's preachy. It's a little preachy for me. Like it's like some of the attitudes, some of the stuff they're doing like adds up nicely, and you're like, okay, this makes sense. I see what you're doing. But then it like a lot of it just breaks down to like I feel like Spielberg was sitting around one day. He's like, how do I tell everyone to be nice to each other? What would be the easiest way to just say, hey, stop being dicks? And then he made a movie about aliens. So that's what it feels like.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not great.
It's one of the odd things is like every summer's filled with movies, but like you thought like Spielberg, a movie like this, like this
high budget, Emily Blunt.
I just didn't hear a lot of feedback of like people being hyped about the movie, like in comparison to other movies this summer. So like, ooh, something must be off here. I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
It's like Escape from Witch Mountain, the new one with The Rock, but like no action, a little less action, and not as much fun.
This is kind of a spoiler, so I'm going to be careful here. I'll do this for like 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I heard the best part of the movie is the end where the TV anchor's there. She's not a real TV anchor. That's like her first acting role where like whatever that anchor does at the end of the movie, people went crazy about. She's like, she handled that like pivotal scene in the movie, like an Academy Award win. Well, that doesn't agree with the internet's take.
Well, Emily Blunt.
No, there's a TV. I thought there was another actor at the end. It delivers the big thing.
Yeah. So, little spoiler, but not. You almost maybe want to just spoil the whole damn thing and say people.
All right, we got a little 30 more seconds of spoilers. I know I said 30. Well, 1 more minute of spoilers. We'll take this to 49.
So the Emily Blunt character and everybody brings everything to a media outlet. That media outlet says everybody needs to take this, and whoever the national anchor is that was reporting on what the other big story of the movie is begins to do this. And as she's reacting to it, yeah, she's good. No, that I agree with that. The acting's fine. The acting is fine. Let me put it like this. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get your, because then I watched the breakdown video and I'm like, maybe I didn't understand. Like Screen Crush, and there's a couple other ones that I like, that New Rock Stars or some other like nerd videos. They break down other videos. So like maybe I missed it. No, I didn't. But they're all sitting there like, and what it means is this. And you're looking for more, but it's just this. And I'm like, this sucks. Like I didn't want I don't need you to hold my hand at the end of the movie, but at the same time, like if I gave you over 2 hours of my attention, the least you can do is not suck.
You had one on Amazon. I'm talking about like the alien themed, We're Not Alone theme. You had this one. You got this Disclosure Day. There's a Pixar movie coming out next summer about aliens. We're not alone. I wonder if everybody in Hollywood's like, look, everybody, Trump's eventually going to say we got aliens. People are going to be so into this thing in 2026 or 2020. As of now, it's like the people who are into aliens like it. And the people are like, Man,
oh no, like the alien part of it and like the conspiracy part of it and all that stuff, like that works. Like the majority of the movie I liked. I think if it ended if it ended better, you know what? If I was gonna spoil the ending without spoiling the ending, I felt like I felt at the end of The Sopranos. I like everything you did. I just don't like that you're on your own, figure it out. Like that's what I don't. I'm not. If I'm going to invest that much time into it, wrap it up with a nice bow for me. That's all I ask. I don't, or I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I just.
Fair enough.
I didn't.
Okay.
Like I said, I could completely spoil it, but I'm not going. Like they did a lot of cool things. Like I said, the effects are good. The overall premise is good. And I think that if it had ended differently, I would have been like, dude, that was cool. You should watch it. But the ending kind of ruined it for me. It's just, or should I say the lack of an ending kind of ruined it for me, I should say.
All right. Comments from around the world here from people
the
who've been writing into the
world.
show. Shout out to our guy, Adam Snow. He did hear your shout out the other day. He wrote, I 100% agree with Gaz about letting media vote. Kaplan for MVP, baby.
Well, that's why you don't get to vote, idiot. No, just kidding.
Shout out to Adam, baby. That's right. You agree with me and media.
I like when you guys were gonna fight. I don't have a problem with media having a vote in it. I don't. I just it just didn't come to pass this year, and I don't think we have enough like set medias like I don't think we have enough. You know what I mean? Like so what are we gonna do? Let the announcers from each team vote? Well, then the rule would be that you can't vote for your team. So it's like what's and Kaplan for MVP. I think that's legit a real thing. We are doing a special teams player of the year this year too, though. So I think he's a lock for that. I mean, that's just a lock. And somebody had the great idea of naming it the Jim Foster Special Teams Player of the Year award because we wouldn't have Nets without Jim Foster.
Very cool. Was that you?
It was just some really devilishly handsome guy. He was very smart.
Very smart.
And everybody went, "Ooh, good idea." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm smart."
I apologize. I apologize for not knowing this. Is he still with us?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Is he going to be there to present the award?
Not that I know of.
That'd be really cool too.
He and Kurz are boys, but I've never actually met him. So I just thought it was a cool homage to the sport,
I think it's an awesome idea. I think it's very cool. Hopefully he'll be in attendance if he is there, having something yeah, dude, that's a great idea. I'm glad you did that. Very, very cool. Let's talk about Ryan McCarthy for a few minutes.
Might be up to Nashville to decide if he's there or not.
Ooh, all right. Or Albany.
We'll see. I said might.
Oh, I missed that there. It might have been your internet. Ryan McCarthy.
My internet's fine. I got nothing else pulling off it. Just this. That's it.
Ryan McCarthy wrote, is it the year 2041? 56-year-old LeBron James is taking the court for the expansion London Spectres. He is still seeking his fifth ring.
He tries to be funny.
I don't think he wants LeBron to come back or play for the Sixers. Did you see? I wonder if that's a shot at poor Ryan because you and I tonight will be guests. I don't know if this is live or not. I believe it is a live broadcast. You and I will be a part of the No Credentials Required show tonight at 6:30 with Ryan. And already there's some nonsense starting. I'm not going to give my take, but I ripped Air Bud, that no good bum Air Bud. And a lot of people did respond on social media. Ryan wrote, Gaz hates old people and dogs, confirmed. DJ wrote, ha, 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 yes, Air Bud overrated. And luckily I know 90s Kid. He likes to test me sometimes, and luckily I know his humor. He wrote, unbelievable take like this, Gaz, gets you regulated to podcasts.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, here we are. We don't have a lot to defend on that. It is like it's just a strange hill to die on, like
what my Air Bud take?
Yeah, the Wilt Chamberlain one's weird enough. You've got a couple out there that are just weird to me.
The statue one?
Yeah, well, no, the statue one, like at least I think is debatable. I think it's a conversation worth having. I think your argument falls apart if I ever said to you, hey, I heard they're putting a statue of us out in front of the WTMM studios. You'd be first in line, to celebrate that. I just the Air Bud to not just being like, dude, I don't want to watch that crap. To be like, I hate him and he's a fraud. No, I think everybody really thought that dog could, dunk. I thought everybody really thought that he was burying threes. I'm shocked. The fact that he's better at basketball real life than you are is why you're angry.
I will not say any of my takes. I will save them for Ryan and Dustin.
Hold on. What kind of dumbassery is that?
What do you mean?
Why are you giving them views? You should be giving us views. If you're gonna say something stupid and get aggregated, do it here.
I promise them the Air Bud take. I will do it tonight. I will save my Air Bud.
We already know what your Air Bud take is.
You want my Air Bud take?
Sucks. You
want my Air Bud take? He stinks, Levack. He's the biggest fraud in basketball history behind your boy Will Chamberlain. He stinks. Are you kidding me? I'll play any dog right now in basketball. Line me up with that pup. I'd smoke him 11-0. 21. That dog's not getting a shot off of me. You hear? I would smoke Air Bud in the game. And you know who should be embarrassed? The parents of those kids. I don't want to parent shame, but they should be disgusted that they trotted their kids out there and watched them get smoked by a dog. That dog stinks. How many shots do you think it took to Air Bud? Oh, Air Buds. The best player on the team is a dog. I got a nickname for your buddy, Air Bud Levack. How about Air Fraud? You happy? I hope you're happy.
It's a movie, guys. It's a movie. It's not real.
He stinks, just like Will Chamberlain. Air Fraud.
I'm going to say it. Peppa Pig's a hoe.
How dare you? It's a nice, wonderful woman.
I've got a video of something bad being done to her backside. I'm going to circulate it online.
I thought the show was over, but you said WTMM, and I don't know what else we're going to talk about. Any thoughts on the news involving that station? It's now become public that they have launched an afternoon drive show called Team Tailgate, hosted by our buddy Charlie Volker. We kind of alluded to this, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, that there was something going on. I haven't seen anything put out about it besides the producer's dad on social media. I haven't heard it. I haven't listened.
It's on their website.
It is on their website. Yeah, you and I are both Charlie fans, so take whatever you want from this. People had asked us, shout out to Leon, Matt, others, who had said, like, are you guys going back to ESPN radio? Any thoughts on what's going on over at our old station?
Charlie had figured out how to work there after we were gone. And, sometimes we would talk about it and he was happy, and sometimes we talk about it and he wasn't. I hope they take good care of him. He's a good dude. He's going to, if you like local sports, he's got his finger on the pulse after all his years in Albany and everything like that. If it was somebody else, maybe I would take some unwarranted pot shots for the fun of it. But he's always been a very good friend of mine, except for that time he wrecked my truck.
The details of that are cloudy.
They're not cloudy at all. There's the truth, and then there's whatever crap he's spewing. But aside from that shows you how much I love him. Because I think that ultimately got me to ScarJo. It just was a couple steps. But it's Charlie. I wish him nothing but the best. A ton of success to him. If you think for a second I didn't send that clip to our former employers at iHeart and go, oh, good luck holding on to our sponsorship money now. You're crazy, because I did. But no, I just we've said this before. There's enough room for different voices in this market. I think if you can find a way to work over there, good for you. I don't know that I could. I was told they wanted to talk to me, and then you were told they wanted to talk to us, and then they didn't, and then they hired Charlie. So someone lied to us, but never Charlie. So nothing but the best for Charlie Volker. Love that guy.
Yes.
Anything I can do to help him, I will.
Yes, shout out to Charlie. I'm glad it's him. I really, truly am glad it's him. I know there have been discussions of other people. I got nothing but love for Charlie. I hope he does well. I think if it was going to be anybody to get picked for that, I'm glad it's him. So much love to Charlie. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a co-host fill-in. Who knows? I don't know how that's all going to go, but I'm glad it's him. Let me go back to a Fox Sports thing. They
can't afford me.
Charlie, here's a little media thing. If somebody wants something there, who cares about these things? Charlie did get talked to, close to, potentially joining us at Fox at one point. There was a meeting, I think 2 meetings, maybe 3, that there was talks of Charlie doing mornings and us doing afternoons. I was at the Tipsy Moose with Charlie, and it was in motion.
That was before the current market president, right?
There we go. See?
Okay.
And I
was gonna say, because that was weird, because I had the current market president went, "Who's that?" And I went, "Oh, it's this guy. Here's his resume." But
I think
that would have been hysterical.
I think I'm close on the math here. And gosh, I feel bad because my phone only goes back for 3 months on text. I feel like we had that meeting in March, and then we were going to do it in September, and our market president left in July. And honestly, the meeting might have been in May, and then our market president was gone in July.
There's also a chance that market president found out that things cost money and decided not to do it.
Right. Like, so.
Because that guy sucked.
Wheels were in motion.
When it came to money.
Right. I think there's also, that in like, how do I do this? You know, he was always fine to me, but I know what you're saying. To move things in motion, blah, blah, blah. Right. Yeah. Right. Anyways, so there was movement.
Take a leap of faith in me, and we're going to take care of you. And hey, I've been following for like a year and a half. Maybe we could throw a little cheddar my way. And then the new guy came in and went, "What we got to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." And that worked. So, and then the list.
It's so funny how this is a debate for another day, or not even a debate discussion. Now that I've realized this, how differently you and I view all our managers, which, you know what I realized is actually probably a great thing. You know, if we were on one page with the same managers, there's probably why we work well together. You think one way of most of our managers, I think one way of them, almost all of them now at this point, which is
I like people who do what they say they're going to do. You like people that leave you alone.
I would prefer it was both.
Right. But like, I would rather
I worked with wasn't the first one.
I would rather they screw with me a little bit so that we can get where we need to be than be left alone. Because the guy you like that and again, I don't dislike the one guy. I just, he made promises when I got there and he kept none of them. And he made excuses as to why he couldn't keep them. And then, you know, the other guy came in and I worked my ass off for him and he did good things for me until corporate came through and went, "What's that thing that makes money? We don't want that. That's weird. Can't we have one of those in Austin and be good across the entire country?" And he was like, "No, we can't." And they're like, "Yeah, we can." And then it happened.
As to the conversation you mentioned about our employer potentially reaching out to us or any of that stuff, like, or us going back to radio, I would say, and sounds a very cliche thing, but I think it's really true in this spot, especially happens in sports and jobs and life. That was very bad timing. Let's put it like that. Sometimes life does actually matter when it comes to timing. There's a great chance Charlie would have had that spot immediately when MJ left. He probably would have. But I would say things started at the wrong time for us. For people who really, really, really wanted us to go back to radio, it just wasn't the right time or right fit. Who knows?
The chances of me ever trusting that place again, like, very little. Very little. Like I said, the experience I had at our last employment, am I thrilled with the way it happened? No. Was I spoken to honestly and openly the entire time? Yes. Was anything I had in writing with most of those people honored? Yes. Can I say the same thing about the other company that we used to work at before that? I cannot. That my favorite meetings in the world are literally talking to town Darth Square Vader, because no, we have a deal. Well, I've altered your deal. Pray I do not alter it further. Like I would sign a 2 or 3 year contract, and then they would come in and go, "Here's your new contract," like 4 months in, and I'd be like, No, I didn't sign a 3-month contract. I signed a 3-year contract, and they're like, "No, you don't have to work here if you don't want to." And it's like, but we have a written agreement on how we were gonna treat each other, and I've given you everything. No, so that's like that's I'm still
more
about that.
To what
if they ever wanted to put in writing some kind of like poison pill where like I got all kinds of crazy stuff if they altered a deal within the parameter of a deal, I might consider it. I do love radio, and I do love that I love that station. I love the stuff that, because you know this, I built a lot of the crap in that building. So I would love to go and help it be great again, but make it great again. But I don't trust them. I don't trust them. So I'm very hopeful for Charlie. Hopefully he's got a deal together that protects him.
I am too. I'm rooting for him. More local sports is better on media content, like you said. So all good things for Capital Region sports fans. We're rooting for that success. I believe we said a few weeks ago, someone asked like what the percentages that we're going back to radio. I flirted with the number 20. I think you said 10. I feel like I can confidently say it's lower than 5 now. Less than 5%. It's very, very, very unlikely.
2026 is 0. 2027, I've watched the world shift. I would say 2027, there's probably like a 30 to 40% chance.
Interesting.
Because the industry changes, you know what I mean? And I think you're going to see like one of the things I deal with the AF1, all these streaming companies, and you know, it's funny, we just talked about signing up for streaming packages versus cable packages. They've found out that the thing people pay the most attention to is live sports. So like they realize that after years, by the way, I'm playing with my kendo stick because I'm getting ready to go see Jeff Jarrett. You want this Double J guitar versus kendo? You ready? They realize that there's a value to it. So that's why like Vice is very interested in what we're doing. Evergreen now, while they were still around, wanted to be a part of it. HTN wants to be a part of it. I think that over the rest of this year, places like iHeart, you know, major companies across the country are going to look around and go, there's money to be made in live talk. And stations like GY and OFX and things like that, I think will get attention again. Now, the question becomes, how long until they go, yeah, but not the amount of attention we wanted. And then you're back to square one. I think you will see a push for, I think you'll see when, just because of the attention that you and I are already getting from sponsors, like you can't tell me that if we're getting the attention, so are they. I think next year there will be some kind of like, you know, like you don't know this because you only had one girlfriend, you prick. But like there's 3 women in my life that I know when they break up with someone, whether it's 3 months, 3 years, 3 days, whatever it is, I get a, how are you? What are you up to? Oh my God, I saw you at the store and I didn't get a chance to say hi. Like, I think we'll get one of those. So what's life like right there podcasting? And do you think all your clients would come over if you came here? How much do you make versus how much do you think you could share with us? Like, that's what I expect, to be honest with you.
It's very possible. That's 2027. And just to clarify, that's a 5-day-a-week Levack and Gaz show. Being back on the radio, you and I will be back on the radio next month. I can't answer any of those things right now, but Levack and Gaz appearance is going to be happening next month in upstate New York, and I can't even answer that right
on the radio?
Now. So that, yes.
Oh, not on the radio, though.
Yeah. Not a whole show. Not a show. I'll tell you off the break. Maybe I haven't even told you. I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah, you can't book me for the shit. You don't tell me what it is.
You and I will be together on air for something next month. That is not a daily show. I'll tell you off the air. I thought I told you this. I didn't tell you this.
I don't think so.
It's a good way to end this podcast. People are like, what are they doing next month? Where is it? How can
angry.
I listen?
I'm not going. How's that? I'm not doing it.
I can't pay you for it. Are you still want to do it?
I'm definitely not doing it. Would you do it if you weren't getting paid?
I think you would do this one. You will do this one. You'll find out.
Oh, is that the, did I just see that email just come through?
No. There's no email. We'll leave it at that.
Thing?
No, not the charity thing. You're not as excited. When I tell you what it is, you'll be less excited. But you and I will be on the air doing something sports related in radio in August. In upstate New York.
Well, there's one meeting I see. I'm probably not going to be here, so that's one thing.
We will share it on social.
Let's just put this: the week of the Crown, so 2 weeks. Don't book me for anything because I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm either going to be here, Nashville, or probably or even Minnesota. You know what I mean? So let's not book Jeff for anything that week.
I will give you one clue, and this is about the only clue I'll give people who listen to the show. When Levack and Gaz will be back on the radio that you can listen to it in upstate New York, will be on August 15th.
The hell is August 15th?
That's all I got. Tell me to hit the button. I can't. Tell me to hit the button.
Enough to have us on the damn radio. All right, just hit the freaking button.